you say, Praveen? I'm sorry.
No, no, no. I was saying Jiva. Yeah.
Okay, okay, all
I
right.
didn't say Muni.
Yeah. We'll start with the universal prayer. Anybody wants to do the prayer? I can do it too.
I,
Please go ahead.
I, Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Universal prayer. O Parvatigar, the preserver and protector of all. You are without beginning and without end, non-dual, beyond comparison, and none can measure you. You are without color, without expression, without form, and without attributes. You are unlimited and unfathomable, beyond imagination and conception, eternal and imperishable. You are indivisible, and none can see you but with eyes divine. You always were, you always are, and you always will be. You are everywhere, you are in everything, and you are also beyond everywhere and beyond everything. You are in the firmament and in the depths. You are manifest and unmanifest on all planes and beyond all planes. You are in the three worlds and also beyond the three worlds. You are imperceptible and independent. You are the creator, the Lord of Lords, the knower of all minds and hearts. You are omnipotent and omnipresent. You are knowledge infinite, power infinite, and bliss infinite. You are the ocean of knowledge, all knowing, infinitely knowing, the knower of the past, the present, and the future, and you are knowledge itself. You are all merciful and eternally benevolent. You are the soul of souls, the one with infinite attributes. You are the trinity of truth, knowledge, and bliss. You are the source of truth, the ocean of love. You are the ancient one, the highest of the high. You are Prabhu and Parameshwar. You are the beyond God and the beyond God also. You are Parabrahma, Allah, Ilahi, Yazdan, Aur Mazda, and God the Beloved. You are named Izzat, the only one worthy of worship. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. The prayer of repentance. We repent, O God, most merciful, for all our sins, for every thought that was false or unjust or unclean, for every word spoken that ought not to have been spoken, for every deed done that ought not to have been done. We repent for every deed and word and thought inspired by selfishness, and for every deed and word and thought inspired by hatred. We repent especially for every lustful thought and every lustful action, for every lie, for all hypocrisy, for every promise given but not fulfilled, and for all slander and backbiting. Most especially also, we repent for every action that brought ruin to others, for every word and deed that has given others pain, and for every wish that pain should befall others. In your unbounded mercy, we ask you to forgive us, O God, for all these sins committed by us, and to forgive us for our constant failures to think and speak and act according to your will. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, until we become worthy of union with you, and help us all to hold fast to Baba's Dharma till the very end. Dhan Meher Baba ki jai.
Baal Meher Baba ki jai. Baal Meher Baba ki
अवतार
jai.
में बाबा
Baal
की जय.
Meher Baba ki jai. Thank you so much for doing that. So,
Thank you, Patrick, for giving this opportunity.
thank you, Baba. So,
Thank
so let's
you.
just
Thank
go
you.
to where we are on the book.
Yeah, he was explaining about the must, like the mostly of must.
Yes, yes. So it was. So we are reading volume one of the book, and there are six volumes in this book overall. And let's get to page, I think 39 something we were last. Yeah.
My most favorite of all them is number 5
Okay.
because those are all the towns I grew up in. He visited all these places.
Oh, the
So
Andhra
from Ravi
tours
to
are.
Andhra.
Yeah,
Okay.
All the Polavaram, Vijayawada. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
good to know that.
Lovely. So, as always, we can start with Praveen so that he gets an
Yes,
opportunity to read. Yeah. So then we
sure,
rotate it
sure.
because in case you want to drop off, you can drop off earlier.
Yes.
Jai
Avtar
Baba.
Meher Baba ki jai. Jai Baba. People fed at Calcutta and Lucknow. From Kashmir, Baba went to Calcutta. In those days, Bengal was hit with a terrible famine. Many people died of hunger. As a token of love for humanity, Baba arranged a feast for about 1,000 middle-class people at 44 Lansdowne Road. At the same time, distribution of 10,000 chapatis, thin white bread, was organized around the streets. He also donated a substantial sum for the purchase of 2,000 was for children. On way back to Lahore, Baba halted for a few days at Lucknow. There again, a good meal was served to 300 poor and infirm people at Burma Memorial Hall Library. Baba himself participated in serving the food and gave each person a rupee as a present. Baba once explained that when a perfect master gives charity to poor or needy people, the recipients serve as a medium for the spiritual benefit that accrues to the world, including the recipients themselves. The work of feeding the poor appeared The work of feeding the poor appeared to be the conclusion of Baba's work with the mosques for the particular year. By the fourth week of October, Meher Baba had reached Lahore via Kapurthala. Upon his return, he dictated a special circular on October 25th, 1943. In this, he intimated to his followers that the trip to Iran would be in March 1944, and the one-month meeting of his followers, which was to be held in January, would instead be from May 15th through June 15, 1944. By the end of November, Baba had returned to Mehrabad and stayed there until the end of the year. Thus, with a memorable meeting in May 1943 at Mehrabad and a host of striking must contacts, mainly in Punjab and Kashmir, the year 1943 came to a close. As for me, I had to wait for about a year for the blessed moment of a personal contact with Meher Baba. In that waiting, there was a delightful inner ache and exhilarating impatience too. Meher Baba's headquarters at Aurangabad, 1944. A memorable year in my life, 1944, the blessed year. It was in this year that I had the great fortune to meet Meher Baba, the perfect master, in person. For me, a major part of this year was a period of reading and rereading articles by and about him. The discourses by Meher Baba, volumes 1 to 4, were the books I loved most. These were my readers too, for my reading of English commenced with these books. Copies of the Meher Baba Journal provided a regular feast. I was much impressed by the series of articles Meher Baba and My Spiritual Path, written by Countess, Countess Nadine Tolstoy. I felt there was a ring of truth in what she wrote. It struck a chord within my heart. Sometimes the words of the lovers of God are equally appealing and helpful. I also like the articles Come and See by Kitty Devi, the Dairy Notes by Baba's dear secretary Chanji, F.H. Dada Chanji. Okay, the Dairy Notes by Baba's dear secretary Chanji revealed to me the beauty of some facets of Baba's personality. So profound and so powerful, his work with the masks was an entirely new thing to me. This phase of work remains unparalleled even to this day. I was a regular reader of all the 18 cantos of the Bhagavad Gita. I read somewhere I read somewhere that if one reads the entire Gita continuously for 6 months, one is entitled to one is entitled to have a divine knowledge. It was well intentioned bait. I humbly wished to state that the intrinsic topics of Sanskara range in Maya,
Did we
ego,
lose you?
etc. were not I don't know. Suddenly, the screen has gone off. I'm starting it again. Um,
Okay.
it was it was well intentioned bait. I haven't had a glimpse of that knowledge even now, but I am sure that this reading helped me to meet knowledge personified, Meher Baba. I also felt inclined to read the literature of theosophy and was influenced by articles and books of Annie Besant. The talks of J. Krishnamurti made a deep impression upon me because of the clarity and profundity of his understanding. Sayings and particularly the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa stole my heart. Gyaneshwar, Tukaram, and Ramdas, the perfect masters of Maharashtra, sustained my enthusiasm and search. With the limited scope of my understanding and reading, I humbly wish to state that the intricate topics of sanskaras, reincarnation, Maya, ego, etc., were not as systematically explained step by step by others as by Meher. All this serious reading was not merely disporting on the superficial level, but a dive within myself to find out the significance of life. A mere triumph of intellect may lead to tragedy of heart, I feared. In those days, I used to write what I felt to Baba. In a reply to one letter, Adi Senior wrote, received your loving poem. He, Meher Baba, is very happy and says that he is with you all the time. He tells you not to worry about anything. He sends his love and blessings. My career as a school teacher also commenced this year. The headmaster of the local school sent for me and requested that I work as a teacher as far as my health would permit. This was Baba's sent blessing, a gift of his invisible grace. In short, all the roads were leading me home to Meher Baba, circular issued from Aurangabad. As 1944 began, Meher Baba's headquarters were at Mehrabad. For the first 2 months, he did not seek any must contacts, but in March, the work with the musts commenced. Okay, the work with the must commenced, and by the end of November, he had traveled about 5,000 miles, contacting over 100 musts. During this year, he contacted about 3,000 poor people and gave prasad to each of them. On
Just
February 5th,
to pause
1944,
you to pause you for a minute. Just let
yes,
that
sorry,
numbers
yes,
sink in, right? Between March and
yes,
November, Baba has traveled 5,000 miles. We are talking on multiple
correct.
modes of transport: buses, bullock carts, trains, everything. And we read in Wayfarers, of
Even
course,
walk
the
also.
details. Yeah, walk also, yes. And
Yes,
boat sometimes. And there is that famous episode where one of the contacts were made in the floods, and Baba actually went by boat with Erich. So, yeah, so just let that number sink in. March to November, 5,000 miles. And we're talking very traditional ways of moving. Amazing stuff. Yeah, please continue.
that to like around 78 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. On February 5th, 1944, Meher Baba moved to Aurangabad, where he stayed with a large group until April 10th. In March, a circular was issued from Prem Basera Ghati, Aurangabad. It contained the following information. The visit to Iran. The passport difficulty is not being yet removed. The Iran visit problem has still remained unsolved. Rationing. Owing to the recent rationing regulations, the coming together of 200 signatories has become very difficult. At the end of the circular, Meher stated, all the difficulties mentioned above are real in the gross sense and from the worldly practical point of view and are, as such, facts without flaw. And yet, I, being what I am, who knows everything and knew all, could have arranged everything as I wanted. This therefore leads to the natural conclusion and conveys the only meaning that I, myself, created these difficulties and situations for a further postponement, which has a precise purpose and definite and predestined reasons behind it, which the fortunate ones alone will know. This paragraph is really great, isn't it?
Yeah, you can actually read it
Like it
again.
explains, yeah. All the difficulties mentioned above are real in the gross sense and from the worldly practical point of view and are, as such, facts without flaw. And yet, I, being what I am, who knows everything and knew all, could have arranged everything as I wanted. This therefore leads to the natural conclusion and conveys the only meaning that I myself created these difficulties and situations for a further postponement, which has a precise purpose and definite and predestined reasons behind it, which the fortunate ones alone will know. Just for a normal
Apply to
discussion, when
that
we
paragraph. Sorry, that paragraph can apply to anyone at any
yes,
time in any
yes,
context, right?
exactly. That's what I was trying to mention. Like it is applicable to everything in our life and everything in Baba's life very well. And
Yes,
one more thing that fortunate ones when you mentioned, that
yes.
should have been the ones on the planes, isn't it? Like just for normal discussion, it's not relevant as such. The fortunate ones alone will know. Could be the ones who are on the path or who are perfect already, isn't it?
On the planes, or yeah, somebody who can see that, who can see
Yeah.
that he has created this.
He should be on mental planes. Only then subtle and mental would have an he should have view of subtle and mental and probably then he can understand probably.
Yeah.
But anyhow, a Mazub like primary teacher from Aurangabad, Meher Baba visited nearby towns like Bir, Parbhani, Paithan, and few other places to contact mosques. Along with this work, Baba also continued to contact incognito the poor of land by way of helping them with their primary needs. In the middle of March at Python, he distributed food, grain, and cloth to 3,000 people. He gave three seers of jowar and 2 yards of cloth to each person. 2 days earlier, he gave some monetary help to about 101 wandering sadhus. At Python, Baba came across a man named Maulvi Abdul Wahab Mudaris. He was employed in one of the Urdu schools as a teacher. He was regarded as a holy man, and daily the school authorities would send someone to request him to come at least sign the master roll. Sometimes his state was like that of a Mazub. He was taken to Aurangabad, but as they reached there, he requested the Mandali to permit him to get down in Bazaar area, and from there he slipped off to another village. Baidul had to search for him and bring him to Baba for his contact. It was noticed that some mosques in the beginning showed willingness to come for Baba's contact, but on one pretext or another, they tried to escape and avoid meeting him. At Bir, Meher Baba contacted a mosque named Chandu, Mai, Chandu Mia Baba. Baba remarked that he was one of the type of mosques. Eight type of mosques. Baba has classified the mosques in 8 categories, and the eighth type represents the one who are half mad and half mosques. Three-quarters of the mosques are in this category. Another contact at Bir was Shatabai, a good Mastani. She kept some dogs always about her, and as was common with other mosques, she fed these dogs before she ate. Shantabai would usually give away the costly presents she received. Precious stones for the mosques are as good as pebbles.
So maybe we can quickly see that reference.
Eight
Like,
types.
no, the types
Yeah,
of
I was
mass.
also.
The types of mass.
Where is it? Where was it explained, Patrick?
No, in
In Wayfarers?
Wayfarers, there is a
Okay.
detailed coverage of that. So I'll try to find.
I did go through that book yet. Fine.
What is that?
I didn't go through that book yet. I didn't go through that reading yet, actually.
Ah, okay, okay.
Wayfarers. Yes.
Yeah. Wayfarers. Hmm. 1 second. Just give me 1 more minute. If I don't find it in a minute, we will drop.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. So I'm not sure if what he's saying is correct here. So I just wanted that reference 8 categories. So yeah, can you see my screen? Yeah.
Yeah, I can see Wayfarers supporting slides.
Yeah. So
Types of advanced tools as per manual.
so the types are, it's actually five, five types of advanced souls and five
Okay.
subtypes in the next slide. So I don't know where he gets the 8 idea that he's talking about here. Then if you see this from the, yeah, I don't know why he says 8. Okay, anyway, because uh, maybe if you, let's go back to what,
See,
He said
what are
that
those first two types you have shown, Karthik, in Wayfarers? First
uh-huh.
five and the next five. Can you go back, please? Yeah, this is the seven planes.
No, this is just mapped on the planes, which is
Yeah,
just for us to
the
understand.
previous one. Okay, okay, hang on 1 second here. Can you go to the previous one?
Yeah.
Okay. So these are all types of muss here.
No,
Got
it's types
merged
of,
and
no, no,
got
it's types of
intoxicated, got
advanced.
absorbed.
No, no,
Yeah.
this is not types of musts. It's oh yeah, I think I got it. He's right. He's right.
the
He's
five
right.
subtypes
No, no, no,
two
no, no.
two
He's
will
right.
replace
He's
that
right. Hold
five.
on. He's right. He's right. There is, yeah, here it is. Type 8. 8 types. So this is
Okay.
types of
Jalali
must.
Jamali.
Jalali,
Oh
Jamali,
yeah, Jalali,
Mahbubi,
Jamali,
Ittefaqi,
Mahbubi,
Madasa,
Mahbubi.
and then
Ittifaqi.
type
Yeah.
6, type 7, type 8. Correct. Yes. I should have just
Can you
gone.
do you remind? Can you just update me? I'm kind of dazed about this. Jalali, we know, very aggressive, very hot-tempered.
Yeah,
Jamal is
hot-tempered,
friendly,
restless,
mild. Hmm.
smokes and has tea, lives in squalor. Jamali is mild-tempered people,
Yeah.
and they're very clownish in behavior sometimes. Speaks in
Hmm.
riddles, makes signs with hands. Again, tea and cigarette is common.
Cigarettes. Okay.
Mahabubi is feminine in nature and
LBG,
mild-mannered.
LBGTQ.
Whatever, yes, always
Yeah.
cheerful. Here there is chai and lady, so
Fun.
pan, not cigarette. Yeah. Ittefaki is suddenly becomes a must accidentally, right? And wears iron rings and other pieces of iron. There is this famous Calcutta must who used to be in chains, yeah, and then make sweeping arm movements. Madarzad is born a must. So mostly musts get uh, transformed to a must after some event, after some process where, I mean, not process, but basically either reading a book, meeting a person, doing some spiritual activity, they become a must. Very, very rare occurrences is where they are born a must. He is appears like an ordinary madman, always naked, and then very restless, very odd tastes in food, including eating raw flesh. Then type 6 is a very rare type. Five in every cycle, and the beginning at the beginning of a cycle, two more. So only Very, very rare, right? So 7 musts in all, replaced by successor as they drop. But these are not named. Type 6, Type 7, and Type 8 are not named at all. Then Type 7, again, it just says that equal attributes of Jalali and Jamali, and all Baba says is there is a Type 7. Then Type 8 is a commonest type, which is half must and half god mad. And this is explained in detail in the first few chapters of Wayfarers. So, anyway.
That's interesting. Our half must and half god, god man. I thought either they are must or
God
a
mad,
god
not
man.
God. It's
Yeah, half
God mad.
god mad. So God
God,
mad
oh,
is,
god mad. Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
god mad.
God mad
Okay.
is, if you go to this advanced souls, 1 second. So God mad is basically this one, Divane Allah. Divane
Yeah,
Allah.
these are all
That's,
must types. Yeah.
yeah, that includes, yeah. Anyway, this is not must types. These are advanced soul types. The last slide,
Yeah.
the 8 are the must type. See, must is
Yeah.
one particular
Salik like.
aspect. Yeah,
See, the Salik like a God absorbed Salik like pilgrim, that means they are like normal conscious. The
yes,
musts are out of conscious. These two, the third and fourth, Salik means they are normal conscious, but at the same time they're in the planes.
correct. So must
Okay.
in this is only this God intoxicated, second category.
Oh, these are Mazub. Okay, that's
No, 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 no,
different.
no. These are all advanced souls. One of
What
the
about
types
this?
of
Mazub
advanced soul
Allah.
is must.
God merged,
Mats-
right? So this is Mazub.
Matsub Allah is nothing but Matsub.
Okay.
Yeah,
Seventh plane.
you have
Seventh plane.
seventh plane. Yeah,
God
must.
intoxicated is different. God
Yeah,
realized. This is God realized.
yes,
Days.
but yeah. Okay, so anyway, let's not. I just wanted the 8 categories reference. So
It's a good reflection. It is really good.
yeah, yeah. Let's go back. Yeah.
Now, to the next paragraph. This
Yes,
is responsible.
correct.
Go, go, Gaurav Shah, Shivanand, and Vasudev Swami. By April, by April 10, 1944, Baba had gone to Pimpalgaon, where he stayed until June 7th. Pimpalgaon Ashram was later named Mehrazad. Here, Ali Shah from Ahmednagar was brought for Baba Sahwas for a short period. Soon Baba left Ahmednagar to visit Jhansi, Gwalior, Khandwa, and other places to continue his work with the musts. At Khandwa, Baba contacted Gaurav Shah, a very good and very old must. Next page. Normally, he did not accept anything from them, but as an exception, he willingly accepted the sweet meat brought by Baidul, who was sent by Baba. At Borgaon, Baba contacted Shivanand Brahmachari Swami, an adept pilgrim. To reach this place, he traveled a night in a bullock cart. Shivanand seemed to recognize Baba as a perfect master, and so Baba left the place quickly without taking any food that was offered to him. Generally, Baba accepted with pleasure whatever was given by the master, but there he did not. Why? When Baba was recognized as Meher Baba, he left the place at once without accepting anything, and sometimes even without contacting the particular must. But once remarked that in such cases his work would have been made more difficult. On the way
Is this
back to
Shivananda
Pimpalgaon,
same as the other Shivananda that is there? Shivananda
No, no,
Baba.
no. He was not a
That's
Shivananda
must.
different.
Swami
Oh yes,
You're
was not
talking
he was
Swami,
about,
not.
yeah, you're talking about Swami Shivananda,
Swami
Swami
Shivananda.
Shivananda.
Yeah.
Divine Life
This is
Society.
Brahmachari Swami. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was a
he's
neurosurgeon. Yeah.
correct. The physician who was who set up an ashram called Divine Life Society in
Exactly. Exactly.
Haridwar. Haridwar.
Rishikesh, right? Rishikesh.
Rishikesh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have my aunt who was aunt's
Devoted.
family who were very closely devoted to Swami Shivananda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Baba visited him when he was dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we can
I
rotate the
think
reading, Praveen, if you're okay.
that,
Yeah.
uh, I'm okay to read as well.
Okay. Yeah. Continue for some more time.
Like,
Yeah. On the way
yeah,
back to.
sure. On the way back to Pimpalgaon, 44 people were collected in a dark bungalow at Barwaha. Baba washed their feet and gave some money to each as prasad. A fortnight later, at Narayangaon, Pune district, he contacted 44 heads of middle-class families and gave 50 rupees to each person. A must from Dhulia, Abdul Khalif Mastan, who was brought to Pimpalgaon, had a maggoty wound, where the maggots dropped out. The must would put them back on the wound. So unconcerned are the musts about their gross bodies. During this stay at Pimpalgaon in 1944, Baba personally visited Ale to contact Vasudev Swami. Later, this must was brought to Pimpalgaon. Spiritual practices had caused the Swami to become god mad. He wore a saffron-colored garment, and his bedding was scrupulously clean. His peculiarity was that he never lay down on his back. For sleep, he would bend his back and drop his head on a pillow. An uncommon thing about him was his his fondness for toys. A peculiar must indeed with a peculiar pride. A stay at Raipur. In the second week of June, Baba visited Mehrabad to attend a small group meeting of the Mandali to get further information about the passports for Iran and the 1 month meeting. Tentative discussions were communicated to the signatories concerned through a special circular. On the way to Kashmir in the first week of July, Baba stopped for some days at Raipur. One of his very dear disciples, Jal Kareval, was working
Jal
there
Kerawala.
as a food
The name is Jal Kerawal.
Jal Kerevala, sorry. Let me read this right line again. One of his very dear disciples, Jal Kerewala, was working there as the food commissioner. Baba especially visited this place at his request and in connection with the probability of inviting the signatories for the 1 month meeting. There was a small darshan program for which some Baba lovers from outstations had also come, including Baba Das and Vibhuti. These two moved from place to place to spread Meher Baba's name among the people, but they found fault with each other about the method of approaching the masses. Baba said to them, "You both love me. You distribute the pamphlets of my messages among the people with love. I wonder how you dare to quarrel with each other. Do what you feel like doing honestly, but why criticize each other to the extent of quarreling? Honesty begets humility that refuses to criticize others. In ungrudgingly, sorry,
Ungrudgingly.
it ungrudgingly works its own way, leaving the results to my divine will." With these words of advice, Baba made them forget the differences of opinion and they embraced each other lovingly in Baba's presence. It was a happy ending. I just want to stop here and just go up, Karthik. Just go up. Yeah. This point where he was mentioning uh, different ways, like there are two persons here.
Yes.
Both are actually equally loving Baba, and both had different ways of spreading his message, and both quarreled with each other. So this is a classic situation where a general difference point of a reason of difference of idea point of view could come between any two persons in life at any point of time. What Baba's was saying here is that it should be your intentions should be right and do what your heart asks you to do and never criticize the other person because his intentions should have also been right, and he should also have been doing with his 100% heart into it. His methodology is different, so never criticize others of their methodologies. Your way is yours, and their way is theirs. I
Absolutely.
just wanted to make that point.
No, no, absolutely. I think we face that all the time, even within the Baba world,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, all the
To
time, daily, and every day, like in everyday life, in every hour you'll face it, right?
Yeah, of course, we
Because
see
this
it in
cross
everyday
cuts in your
life, but
mind.
even in Baba world, even in Baba work, even in
Yeah, yeah,
our
that's true.
groups, we encounter this, and this is it's a lesson. So you'll never understand
Yes.
why the person does what he's doing, and we should be respectful of it. By the way, now that we have paused, Sanjay ji, समाधि दर्शन मिलेगा या निकल गए आप वहां से?
हम निकल गए वहां से actually.
हाँ ठीक है, नो
Yeah.
प्रॉब्लम।
जय बाबा.
जय बाबा। ठीक है,
चैनल में देख
जय
लेते
बाबा.
हाँ
ऑनलाइन।
ठीक है, ठीक है। नहीं नहीं नहीं, लाइव देखने में मजा ही दूसरा है ना।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, वो लाइव चैनल है ना, मैं बोल रहा
हाँ वो भी लाइव है,
वो
बट somebody's
बट
personal,
ये
या
थ्रू पर्सन।
ऐसे, हाँ, correct. Okay, so let's continue.
कंटिन्यू।
Yeah. Actually, let's rotate because it's also quite some time that.
Yeah, like if anybody wants to chip in, fine, or else I am ready.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Ravi, are you in a position to read?
Yes, I can read.
Please, please.
Jai Baba. Baba stayed
Thank you
at
so much, Praveen. Continue, Ravi. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Baba stayed at Raipur from July 9th to August 9th, 1944. From here, he visited Amaravati, Ilichpur, Basim, Badnera, Damangaon, Tatanagar, and a few other places to contact Mas. One day, he especially visited Damangaon to contact Mungsaji Maharaj. The monsoon was in full swing, and Baba had to wade through the muddy fields for 3 miles. While returning, the party had to travel more than 15 miles in a bullock cart. Such experiences had to be undergone to realize what hardships were encountered in such trips. Baba never showed any concern about the physical discomforts of mass tours. Rather, the Mandali would find him especially cheerful if the contact with the must was made to his satisfaction. Baba was happy to have contacted Mangsaji Maharaj, who later remarked, Baba is the emperor. At Badnera, there was a must named Badri Baba. He would stand in one place, in one position, even for a day or two at stretch. Sometimes he was seen lying in an open place for hours on end. Baba gave him 6 cups of milk, which he happily drank. At Elichpur, Baba met a must who used to sit near a mosque. People kissed his hand as they entered for the prayers, and every time this must would mutter, there is no one in the mosque to respond to the prayers. At Tatanagar, Baba contacted Chunisha Baba, who used to consume 2 ounces of tobacco every day without expectorating it. In the same town, a good Mastani, Buddhi Mastani, lived in a hut, and she chewed pan, betel leaves all the time, day and night. She offered pan even to Baba, who lovingly accepted it.
Probably is Budi Mastani. At this time, I
Mm.
thought we'll just show you Wayfarers and the way the book is structured. If I can pause you, Ravi.
Yeah,
So bulk of the book is actually if you look at the contents itself, if you look at the pages, the supplements start from here, right? There is an explanation to the supplement in 179, but
Mm.
from that point to almost 500 pages is only supplement. And what is the
Yeah.
supplement? I'll show you what the supplements are.
Talks different types of
no,
persons,
it's
different
actually
musts.
each of the contacts. So usually it starts with a map, and after the map, he actually gives you specific episodic information with dates in a particular format. This is the format. So if you let me zoom it, so you actually see place name, map
Place and
reference, what is the names given to that must, and what is special about that must, and what date the contact was made. So just to tell you how well this is organized, I'll just pick up Budi Mastan. Okay. Now, Budi Mastani. This is what we read. Most likely, this is the person that he's referring to now. Well, maybe not because it's Jalandhar.
1943.
No, the year is matching. Year is matching, but it may not be Jalandhar because I don't think we are not in Jalandhar in the book, right?
We are
Anyway,
in
let me check Elichpur.
1944, Karthik.
No, Bandera. We are in
1944.
Bandera or something like that near.
Elichpur, let's just check Elichpur. Yeah, here are the Elichpur examples. Gulab Baba, then Elichpur, Gulab Baba, Mastak Mia, Shahdat Mia. Again, no match between what he's saying and um, okay. Anyway, I mean, I just wanted to give you a flavor of how the book is structured. It's a labor of love that Dawkins has put together at Baba's order, and it's very, very detailed. So he made multiple supplements. There are 4 supplements in all. And as I said, the sum of the supplements is much more than the actual content of the book. So the book is all about an account of the contacts that were made. With that, we'll get back to reading. Yeah, at Badnera.
At Bandera, there was a must named Badri Baba. He would stand in one place in one position, even for a day or two at stretch. Sometimes he was
No,
seen
I
lying
think
in an
we,
open place for
sorry,
hours.
we read Budi Mastani as well. We'll have to start
Yeah,
from
five
five
great
great
musts of
must of
Kashmir. Yeah. From Raipur, Baba went to
Karthik,
Delhi,
the Buddha
where he
Mastani?
contacted the
Hold on.
spiritual churchman of that city.
Praveen had a question. So, yeah, Praveen?
No. It's not question like you are searching for Buddha Mastani in Elixpur. I think in this book he written as Tata Nagar somewhere. It was not
Yeah,
Elixpur.
yeah, maybe we check Tata Nagar. 1 second. Budi Mastan, there it is. Very old and
Yeah.
tiny Mastani who loves to chew pan. She lives in a small hut in Tata Nagar where she is very well known. She gave pan, and you're right, 1944. So
Yeah.
this is exactly what he's talking about. In Tata Nagar, if you go same date, so 20th July 1944, he has met Chuni Shah
Nation.
Baba and Muhammad Sahib. Right. So this is the way the book works.
Uh,
Fascinating, right? Yeah.
It's
Go ahead.
fascinating.
Yeah.
okay.
From
So
Raipur.
from Raipur, Baba went to Delhi, where he contacted the spiritual churchman of that city. This wayfarer used to cover his face with a veil, niqab, and so he was called Niqabi Hafizi. He wore clean clothes, which was rather uncommon with the Mus. Baba contacted him early in the morning. Sometimes the Mus were contacted by him even at midnight to avoid public disturbance. From Delhi, Baba proceeded with a small group of disciples to Srinagar. He stayed near Shalimar village from August 11th to September 26th, more than a month, 1944. It was during this visit that Baba contacted the 5 great musts of Kashmir. The first was Nab Sahib of Chundangam. At the time of contact, the must put Baba's hat on his head and placed his dirty cap on Baba's. If a must was found to be in a good mood, Baba would happily allow such things. The second was very powerful. Pandit Kashakak of Mangam. The face of this Jalali must remind Baba of Sadguru Upasni Maharaj. The third was Rahim Sahib of Tulamul. He presented to Baba a lump of brick. What a present! He was quite an old person. The fourth must was Asad Sahib of Vanagam. At the time of contact, he asked Baba to scratch his back. Baba did so, and this made them both happy. Before coming to the fifth great must of Kashmir, I feel it necessary to give some information about the types of musts classified by Meher Baba. Here are the first five types. The first is Jalali, hot-tempered or fiery. The second is Jamali, mild-tempered. The third is Mehboobi. He wears articles of feminine attire. The fourth is Ittefaki. He becomes intoxicated with love for God accidentally. The fifth is Madarzad, born a must. There is a sixth type of must, which has a fixed number in each cycle. Baba once remarked, in this present cycle, there are five musts of this very, very rare type. Three in India, one in Egypt, and one in Arabia. These are regarded as the highest of all of the eight types of musts. Noor Shah of Chandalore belonged to this sixth type. He was also the fifth great must of Kashmir. At the time of contact, Noor Shah gave Baba a cucumber, which he later ate. It must have had a very, very rare taste of the sixth type. Through such visible give and take with the muss, perhaps an invisible exchange of handing over and taking over spiritual responsibilities was being registered. Only Baba knew. In the vicinity of
Okay, so I
Srinagar,
think
Baba.
just to pause you, he didn't finish 7 and 8. So if you remember in the slide also, 7 and 8 also does not have a name. 6, 7, 8 doesn't have a name. The last one is Madarzad. 6, 7, 8. 8 is the most common one, most common must. Anyway, that's fine. Yeah, let's continue.
In the vicinity of Srinagar, Baba contacted about 20 musts, including a Mastani who had the peculiarity of eating grass. An advanced pilgrim, after being contacted, wrote a letter to Baba in which he addressed him as God in human form. Two more contacts are worth mentioning. Guruji was an old person and a mast who had a fancy for sweet oil. He often drank it, and his clothes were saturated with it. How queer are the responses to external needs of those who are on different planes of consciousness. Subhan Matu was brought to Baba by Masaji. This must used to besmear his face with mud and henna, a fine Indian perfume. In Baba's presence, Subhan rolled on the ground with the sheer joy of seeing him and most reverently looking at Baba, cried out, "He is Allah."
So another memory from the book is so many of them actually say this, right? So many of the Mas episodes start or end with references to how they recognize the divinity in Baba and proclaim it during the contact, right? Yeah, go ahead.
So what kind of consciousness were these masks? Do you know?
Different, I think different kinds, I think.
Yeah, they were at so they have, so if you look at a must, they are intoxicated with the with God. So they're thinking of God all the time. they have very little awareness. Again, let me just go to that slide. It explains that he is in permanent enjoyment of divine intoxication. He can be on any plane, 1 through 6, and he's aware of his spiritual status. So,
A spiritual place.
yes, aware of his. What I mean to say is status. I should probably change that. What it means is there were musts that used to give tips for horse races, and the horses that were winning were always. I mean, the tips were always right, right? So then people used to come and take those tips and so on and so forth. So they knew they were gifted, and that's what it means here, right? And this is the other types that he's talking about. This is just advanced pilgrim, but the types of yeah, this is the 8 types: Jalali, Jamali, Mahbubi, Ittifaki, Madarzad, type 6, type 7, and type 8. Type 7 and type 8 he did not cover now. Yeah.
Baba gave these names to them.
Yes,
Each
yes,
category, Baba
yes.
named it.
Yes, these are all Baba's names and Baba's classification, and it's all
So,
covered in Wayfarers.
yeah, yeah. So, in like in the one before this, that I forgot what it was called, but it said that it could be through the plane of 1 to 6.
Yeah,
What I'd like to ask is, what makes them must,
Mm,
beside being intoxicated
mm,
from the joy of being with God or seeing God? Of course, the more advanced they are in planes of consciousness, the more access they have to the godlyhood of God, right?
yeah,
I'd like to know. I mean, they're definitely stuck at where they're at. So
mm.
I think that's why Baba
Me,
was contacting them to help them out,
yeah.
move
yeah.
them forward,
Yes,
push
move
them
them
forward.
forward, help them, and so on. Um, but it's not very clear as to
Yeah.
what their role is. They have a certain role. They are working with the divine order, but they're oblivious to what is happening around them, right? So
Yeah.
they are not trying to help others in most cases. In many cases, of course, they are also helping you move towards God. Like if you remember the Calcutta example he was saying, here the person used to kiss everybody going into the prayers and say, "There's nobody waiting inside to receive your prayer," right?
Yeah.
Reminding people about how God needs to be loved, right? So in that sense, they had a spiritual role, but they were in their own level, and that's where probably Baba went in to help them. And another interesting aspect, though, we just learnt of how those sixth type of musts were there in Egypt and Arabia in this cycle. Baba has said that mostly musts are in the subcontinent, which means Pakistan to Sri Lanka, right? This
Hmm.
whole area, the South Asian subcontinent, is where musts are generally found. And all his must travels also were in the
Hmm.
subcontinent alone. So agents are all over the world, but musts, he said, are largely in the subcontinent. So that's another interesting part.
Oh, all of the
Yeah.
most,
Yes,
Let me
mostly.
answer.
most of them.
Let me answer her
Uh,
Mahu's questions. Good questions. Recently, as I said, I'm preparing another talk, about the plants, and I got some more information from this creation and causes. And Baba gave a lot more information that is not there in the God Speaks. So let me start this, whatever I remember from reading this. So there are the people who are in the involution plane. There are three types. One is a must. Second is Salik, and the third is yogi. Okay, what is the difference between these types, right? So let me come to must second. First, let me talk about Salik. So some people who are normal conscious, like they work and they are like very normal. They are in the society, but they are in higher planes. Baba mentioned few names like that. So these people, which I'm calling saliks, Baba mentioned also saliks, are with a guru, even though they are God intoxicated, but they have a guru holding on to a guru. That makes a big difference. Whether a person in the involution is holding on to a guru or not. Okay. And then these yogis, the yogis, they're already in the path, working to evolve into the involution path, but sometimes they take the help of a guru. They have a guru, but they are working on their own, and whenever they need help, they take the help of a guru. That is, those are the yogis. And now coming to the musts. So planes, right? These planes are, Baba said, they are like railway stations. And each railway station is connected with a city. So just like this, each plane, that is, each railway station has a city attached to that. So if you're walking in the plains, that means if you're going from one railway station to the other railway station, you are progressing. But how you reach to the railway station is you have to walk through the city. And in the city also, you can go straight to the railway station on a highway, or there are some by lanes. And in these bay lanes, the problem is there are a lot of heavens are there. And each plane has got heavens.
Yeah,
If
which he
anybody
calls it
by
Asman.
mistake,
Yeah. Hmm.
if
Planes and
anybody by
asmans, yeah.
mistake enters into the planes, I'm sorry, these heavens, that's it, they're stuck. Even though they are God intoxicated, they are in that amazement, that allurement of, just like a fair. When we go to a fair, it's so enchanting, right? Just like that, they forget. So for thousands of years, they are stuck there. So that is the avataric work that Avatar is doing by giving a push to all these musts who are stuck in the heavens for years. So that is why it is very, very important to hold on to a guru. And if you hold on to a guru, it's a straight shot. He will take you directly from one station to the other, one station to the other, and straight to the seventh plane. And there are two types in this. Some people, the avatar or perfect master, make them walk without a veil. Some people, they take them with a veil. They don't see anything, but the change go on. They don't know anything, but they experience each plane, and but they are holding on to the guru. They just pass on in a very quick way. Whereas these musts get stuck in this heavens for thousands and thousands of years until the perfect master comes and relieves them. Jeba.
See, again, thanks, Ravi, for your inputs. But then again, there's multiple things in this definitive approach, right? So, must is only one specific type of advanced soul. So, there can be multiple types of advanced souls. And to further what you said on people on the path, right? There is one more classification Baba has done, which is what I brought up. Maybe you were not seeing the screen at that time. So, this is what you were saying. So first you have people who have a relationship with the path and they are not far from it. May have a guru, may not have a guru. Baba called it Hawa. Unko Hawa laga hai. They have a Hawa. Then you have a person who's committed to the path. That's the second stage, seeker. Then you go to an initiate pilgrim, and then the Salik pilgrim actually he's called initiate. between first and second plane. Then you go third and fourth plane, you are classified as an advanced pilgrim. And then adept is fifth and sixth. Seventh is anyway Madzu. Now, if you noticed even when we were reading Bal Natu, he also uses the word advanced and adept. So these are all very, very specific terms from a Baba perspective. Baba has defined all of this very, very clearly. And the clearly as in definitively. But it is confusing because all musts are not I mean rather all advanced souls are not musts. That's all I wanted to underline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
So
let's
this
continue.
diagram, what you're showing is from the Wayfarers.
Yes, all that you saw on the slides are what Baba has said, or rather Dawkins has said, and Baba has confirmed, because again,
Yeah,
that's a text that got confirmation. Baba has confirmed all that content.
yeah.
So that's
Okay.
straight from there. And in fact,
Okay.
I don't think I even used my language anywhere. Mostly it's copied straight from the text. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. Passing away of Chanji, Kashmir.
Okay.
Yeah.
During Baba's stay in Kashmir, one of his most dear disciples, F.H. Dada Chanji, alias Chanji, passed away. He was given the best of treatment at Srinagar under the loving supervision of Dr. Daulat Singh. But on August 25th, 1944, dear Chanji dropped his body. He had worked strenuously for Meher Baba and his cause from the day he joined the Mandali in 1925. His diary notes are treasures giving authentic information about Baba's activities. The major correspondence with the East and the West was attended to by Chanji very efficiently and to Baba's satisfaction. Even in trains, he would be seen typing Baba news and Baba pearls. A very loving and energetic person with a rock like faith in Baba's divinity. I had not had any occasion to meet him, but somehow I feel great affinity for him. Meher Baba dictated a special circular that was issued on December 15, 1944. The gist of the main points follows. The death of Farmrose Dada Chanji, one of my most beloved and intimate disciples, has resulted in my personally attending to the details of the work connected with the long delayed 1 month meeting. So I have decided to send Adi K. Irani by the end of this month to the signatories to choose finally any 1 month between February 15th and May 15th, 1945. The circulars also contained information regarding Baba's visit to Nagpur and Sonar in November 1944. The venue for the 1 month meeting was to be Raipur, Madhya Pradesh. Before the end of the year, Baba was to visit Peshawar to stay for a short while in no man's land for his spiritual work. Peshawar to Aurangabad,
Peshawar is in Pakistan. Yeah.
Pakistan. Yeah. Aurangabad, where is Aurangabad? In Maharashtra, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, close to Ahmednagar.
Yeah. By the end of September, Baba left Kashmir. On the 12th, he reached Peshawar via Rawalpindi. At Rawalpindi, he contacted a must named Ghafur Rahman. While Baidul was searching for another must, a man recognized him and related that a must who was contacted the previous year by Baba had become Mazub-like. He had closed himself in a hut, being incontinent, wanting in self-restraint for the calls of nature. He was sitting in filth. Baba had given him a watermelon as prasad the year before. This might have resulted in this changed higher state. This time, Baba did not feel it necessary to contact him. From Peshawar, Baba went for a short stay in no man's land. Baidul and Kakabaria were with him. On his way back to Aurangabad, he spent a few days at Agra and Mathura. At Agra, he contacted 5 musts. This time, he missed a Mastani who had been contacted 3.5 years earlier. She was known as Mastani Mai and was living in an old stable near the Taj Mahal. When Baba and the Mandali had reached that place, they heard a sound like roaring of a tiger. Getting near, it was found that Mastani Mai, with her unusually bright face, was pacing to and fro, roaring. She greeted Baba with respect. Baba gestured for Yirich to ask her if she was happy at Baba's visit. She replied, very happy. Baba later remarked that she was really a high type of Mastani. Some God intoxicated souls have dropped their bodies soon after Baba's contact. Mastani Mai was one of them. Perhaps the gross body was not strong enough to contain the bliss of meeting the avatar, God in human form. Baba reached Aurangabad by October 8, 1944, to join his group living in Prem Basera Ghati.
One comment I like to make, and that is there was a conversation with Baba. I read, I think it's in Lord Meher, and somebody asked him uh, if this is, that mm, that easy for you, or not easy. The word wasn't easy, but if you can do that within a second or so, how come you don't liberate or realize us so we can be free? We can get our spiritual
Mhm.
freedom. And
Mm,
Baba said, if you are not ready, okay, for that status,
mm,
and I give that to you, you become majzub and you stay there forever. You can't even rebirth. You can't even rebirth. Like you may drop your body, but you can't rebirth. It's that intense. Like you
mm.
cannot reincarnate. And so Baba said, don't ask things that is not possible, you know, like
Wow.
that. Like this, like, we have
Yeah.
a we have a fragile glass, right? If we put a very hot water, boiling water in it, and if it's not strong enough, what's gonna do? It's gonna,
Yep.
it's
Mm.
gonna break, and sometimes,
Wasn't there a story, similar story given in discourses? A vessel which was completely blackened and used for many years were given to two different people. One asked them to clean it thoroughly.
mhm,
One person puts it in the fire, and within a day or two, he makes it clean, but the vessel becomes brittle and breaks. It doesn't work. Whereas the other person goes on using rubbing for a month or so, carefully, slowly cleans, and finally he brings it to the bright metal, and that could be used, because a slow and steady cleaning, that's what we need to have, right? We need to be eligible to be qualified for that state. Baba is ready to give. Baba said he is ready to give anytime liberation or realization, whatever is qualified for. But we need to be ready. That's the problem.
I remember a
Good point.
complicated
yeah.
example that I never understood 100% in discourses with ashes and cleaning. Maybe you're referring to that, but I don't
Yeah, yeah.
remember the brittle part of it. I don't think there were two. There is one where he says use ash to clean, and ashes represent. I think it was. I should go back to that reference and read about it.
Yeah.
But it was a tough. I remember clearly that I was not able to understand that analogy perfectly, though
Yeah.
we discussed it. Anyway, interesting.
Yeah, I mean the same thing, right? So we need to be qualified. Baba doesn't have any problem to
Yeah.
pull us in, but we are not qualified.
Ready.
We are not ready. What's his name? Who used to take care of Must Muhammad? He was killed by bandits. Mm. Eric Nadal. Eric
Eric.
Nadal. Eric Nadal used to take care of Muhammad, giving bath and everything, feeding and everything. And once this was published in Glow, so he asks Muhammad to give him a taste of being in the fifth plane. And immediately he started experiencing like a bright light and intense feeling. And he could not withstand. He started shouting, Muhammad, please bring me back. Please bring me back. By shouting like this, slowly, after some time, he brings him back to normal consciousness. So for the fifth plane itself, who is in the grass, I don't know where Eric Nadal is, he's in the grass plane, let's assume that he's in grass plane. He could not withstand that. We need to be qualified to be in those planes too.
Yeah,
Right?
he's
So,
probably Muhammad held her so he didn't drop his body, because these are very, very intense. The gross body cannot really take that much frequency. It's a very high frequency energy and light. Yeah, it can
yeah.
burn you easily. Yeah.
Anyway, let me continue.
Yeah, please.
After reaching Aurangabad, Baba did not undertake long trips to contact Mas. However, in November, he resumed his masterwork by visiting Ajanta. There he contacted one very advanced must named Mian Sahib, who was about 100 years old. He readily consented to the proposal of meeting Baba for a contact. Some musts, though overpowered with intoxication in their love for God, were immensely responsive to Baba's spiritual work, as was Mian Sahib. Baba and the must climbed to a room on an upper floor. Mian Sahib requested Baba to occupy a seat on a sofa. Then the mast embraced him most affectionately. At the time of a must contact, the Mandali accompanying Baba stood away, or at least outside the room. That day, they heard the must lovingly weeping aloud. Once he cried out in Persian, as translated, of your own you are free. Of your own you allowed yourself to be bound. This symbolically
Beautiful. Yeah.
yeah. This symbolically refers to the infinite one getting himself bound for the betterment of humanity. At Guru Prasad in Pune, Baba once stated, in me I am free, but in you I feel bound. In the Parabrahma beyond state, there is no binding. There is absolute freedom, absolute existence. What a sublime state it is. From the sublime state, I have come down to your level. Babajan often used to remark on my having come down from that exalted state to get myself bound here, quoting to me the Persian lines meaning, having gained freedom, you have come back as a prisoner to free others.
That's a reference from the family letter. Mani's book. Yeah. Okay, with that, we go to the next chapter, Darshan program at Nagpur. Mahu, are you in a position to read? We can have you
Okay,
read
sure.
for the last 10 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you so much,
Hey,
Ravi.
Baba. Darshan program at Nagpur, 1944, on the way to meet Meher Baba. The blessed moment of my seeing Meher Baba was drawing closer. In October, this is Bal Natu talking, right? Yeah. In October 1944, I heard from Pandoba Deshmukh. The consecrated news of Baba's visit to Nagpur. It was to be from November 11 to 14, 1944. Pandoba was working in a printing press at Barsi. His faith and love for Baba were most admirable. He had lived at Mehrabad with the Mandali during Baba's Meher Ashram activities, the school and the hospital. He told me many incidents of that period which nurtured my longing to meet Baba in person. As per the circular, Pandoba was one of the members who was to attend Baba's programs at Nagpur. Permission for me to be present at Nagpur and also at Sauner for all the programs was secured. Accordingly, on November 10, I left Kurdawadi with Pandoba and Bhagat to catch a mail train at Manmat, bound for Nagpur. As we reached Manmat, I learned that Baba had already arrived there with the Mandali. The luggage, including many bags and bedding rolls, was well piled up in the waiting room. Gustaji was there to guard it. Panduba introduced me to him. I knew that he had been observing silence for over 16 years. Gustaji in ultra-white trousers and shirt, a brown-colored Parsi-fashioned long coat, a black round cap, and above all, his simple silence gestures looked like a child in an old form. I preferred to sit silently by his side in that waiting room. When he went outside, I tenderly touched the luggage and finding no one in the waiting room, reverently bowed down to it. It was Baba's luggage. Just before the arrival of our train, Baba came and sat on a bench at the far end of the platform, rather a secluded spot. Panduba told me that Adi Senior was sitting by his side. I didn't dare go near him and disturb him. The train arrived. Kakabaria had come from Bombay with seats reserved for Baba and the Mandali in interclass, a class in between third and second. We three got into another compartment. It was very crowded, but even if I had secured a special berth, I wondered if I could have slept well because of the joy of being with Baba on that train. He looked like beauty personified. The next morning we reached Nagpur. His lovers had gathered at the station to receive Baba. Deshmukh was the chief host. Baba was profusely garlanded. He stood for a minute or two at the door of the compartment. He looked very fresh and radiant. With his broad, luminous forehead, sharp and pointed nose, lustrous eyes, moderately flowing hair, and fair skin that failed to contain his beauty, he looked like beauty personified. The rose petals from the garlands round his neck were vainly competing with his complexion. I was lost to myself. In that madness, I felt he looked at me, a thin, slim, insignificant creature in that big crowd and smiled. Amid loud cheers of Sheri Meher Baba Ki Jai, he stepped onto the platform and left the station. When I came to my senses, I found that the wallet in my pocket was gone. I had been prey to a pickpocket. It contained 3 railway tickets from Kordowadi to Nagpur and some money too. Someone said, "It's good to lose something." It's good to lose something when you meet a master. I was not normal enough to catch the joke. Our bags and bedding were already placed with the Mandali's luggage, so we passed through the gate of the platform just as visitors would do, along with the crowd. As I stood outside the gate, I felt a pat on my shoulder. There was a ticket collector standing by my side. I thought he was there to ask me for the missing tickets, but instead he said, "Do you not recognize me?" He was my school friend, whom I thus met again after a period of about 8 years. The moment of fear turned into minutes of happy reminiscences of a school life. God and religion. Meher Baba and the Mandali were accommodated in K.K. Thakur's bungalow at Dantali, near Deshmukh's residence. Some of us were asked to stay on the second floor of a nearby building. I have a weak heart, and doctors have advised me to avoid going up and down stairs, but in my enthusiasm and joy, I forgot all about it. For meals, we all had to go to Dr. Deshmukh's place. In the evening, there was a big public program. It had been arranged to be given on the premises of Gorakshan compound, where Sant Tukaji Maharaj sang beautiful bhajans, which he had composed. Baba gave a message: God and religion. It was read out by Justice Sir M.B. Neogi. During Baba's programs at Nagpur and Saonar, he gave 8 illuminating messages. I wish to give just a part from each here and request my readers to see the original messages in the book, Messages of Meher Baba, compiled by Adi K. Irani. Baba's first message said in part. Now, this is Baba's first message. Dogmas and beliefs, rituals and ceremonies can never be the essence of true spiritual life. When religion has become merely a matter of external ritual and ceremonies, it has become a cage for the soul. Nor does it help very far to change one religion to another. It is like going from one cage to another. If religion does not help man to emancipate the soul from the spiritual bondage and realize God, it has no useful purpose to serve. Then it is time for that religion should go to make room for God. I
Beautiful
think Baba
message.
said it so beautifully.
There's a footnote. It comes from Messages of Meher Baba, published in 1945. Page 65 of that, yeah.
I think there is a There is a PDF of this on uh, uh, Trust website. I've seen it. I think
Sure,
I've seen
must
it.
be. Yeah.
Yeah. God as the only reality. Let's read this too. The next morning, November 12, I visited Thakur's bungalow. A bhajan program was going on. It was my first occasion to see God in human form, seated before his devotees, who sang devotional songs in his praise. All the time, irrespective of the language and the contents of the bhajans, my eyes were set on Baba's figure. I was trying to store the form of the formless one in my heart. In the afternoon, Baba visited Ramakrishna Ashram. Oh, where is the Ramakrishna Ashram? In Nagpur?
The
Nagpur.
main,
Yes, Nagpur. There are
Hmm.
many, but the
yeah,
city of Nagpur has one where Baba had come. Yeah.
So this is the perfect master Ramakrishna? I thought he was in Calcutta.
Yeah, Ramakrishna Mission. Basically, there is Ramakrishna Mission, which has several of these establishments. Even in Mumbai, there is one in Khar.
yes.
Oh,
So
I see.
this is, yeah, that's like
The
that.
main one is in Calcutta, you're right.
Oh,
Ramakrishna
the main
Mission
one
is in
is, but there are other ashrams.
everywhere,
Okay.
yeah. Almost
Yeah,
all the
I haven't
prominent
been.
cities, yeah.
Like
All the
centers,
prominent
like we have
cities
Baba
there is.
centers. Yeah.
So he still has the followers, Ramakrishna?
Yes,
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 yes.
yes.
Wow.
Very popular, yeah.
Well,
It's a
he
big
was
It's
There
called
are a
certainly
lot of
Ramakrishna
Ramakrishna,
Mission is a
it's
big
called
organization.
Ramakrishna Mission.
Yeah.
Ramakrishna Mission. Interesting.
Actually, one Swamiji who belonged to Ramakrishna, what do you call that, lineage or those
The order,
disciples?
order,
Order. Yeah,
order, yeah.
they still come here, Peoria, and give a talks, good talks.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of
some
talks
very good.
available on YouTube. They're very
Yes,
good.
yes.
Yeah.
So visited Ramakrishna Ashram. Swami Bhaskara, this I can't read.
Bhaskaranand.
Vaskaranand.
Bhaskaranand. You made it easy. Swami Bhaskaranand received Baba. He had first met Baba in December 1937 at Papa Josevella's place. He used to talk with Erij about the spiritual life, and Erij would tell him about the life of Meher Baba. The Swami was not convinced of the divinity of Baba and expressed a wish to get some points clarified by Baba himself. But when he had the opportunity to see Baba in person, he remarked to Erich, I have no more questions to ask him, although I came prepared with a long questionnaire. It was quite natural that he felt honored to welcome Baba to Ramakrishna Ashram. We moved through the ashram. The premises were very neat and clean. The atmosphere seemed to invite the hearts of the lovers of God to offer their services at the feet of the Lord. Baba looked especially pleased to visit this place. His message, God as the only reality, was read. So this was read in that ashram, huh? To the
Yeah.
gathering by Justice W.R. Puranik, Vice Chancellor of Nagpur University. In this message, Baba said, God realization is sometimes mistakenly thought to be a selfish purpose of the limited individual. There is no room for any selfishness or limited individuality in God realization. On the contrary, God realization is the final aim of the limited and narrow life of the separate ego. The life of the God realized master is a pure blessing to all humanity. See, Baba talks about us, limited
Yeah.
and narrow,
Yeah.
limited and narrow life of ego.
And there is a footnote as well. I think it's just it's from the
Message
book
page
Messages,
68.
page 68. Okay, so I think we're
Yeah.
just out of time, so maybe we
Sure.
can
Just on
pause
time.
here, yes, and continue the next week.
Okay. That
Okay,
sounds good.
thank you so much, and look
Thank
forward
you
to
very
seeing you
much.
all tomorrow. Yeah.
Jai Baba.
Jai
Jai Baba.
Baba.
Sanjay Ji is in his
Hey,
balcony.
Baba, thank you.
Jai Baba.
Sanjay, where are you? Merhaba?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
Merhaba. Yes.
NPR, huh?
Not in MPR.
Merhaba?
No, your own
Not in
house.
MPR.
Oh, your
I
own.
am in my
See,
own
I can,
house.
I
Yeah.
can tell by the
Wow.
bricks and the color of the door.
Yes, yes.
It just
So there
says,
is there's a
shines
beautiful
like
garden
a
from
Oh my
Merhaba.
goodness. Oh, is it
See,
multi-story building?
2 ground
Yes,
plus 1.
two.
Ground plus 1. That's it.
Wow.
see,
So
this is a
beautiful.
result of monsoon.
Roses.
It's all green.
How far are you from Samadhi?
From MPR, it is say 200 meters.
Oh,
250 meters.
close
That's it.
by. Okay.
Yeah, very close.
Wow, great.
Right.
Great,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Very nice. I'm so glad you're going there, having
Jai
such a
Baba.
good time.
Ravi has to visit. Mahu has to visit.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
hopefully if I can, if I
Well,
buy my ticket, maybe this Amartiti I'm planning.
Okay.
And
So
Baba willing, yeah, Baba willing, I will like to go.
get to
Yeah.
meet Ravi, and you have been talking for 5 years almost. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's 2020. 4 years. More than
Yeah.
4 years. Yeah.
Yeah, more than 4
Yeah.
years. Yeah. Jai
Yeah, I
Baba.
had a chance to meet Kama
Meet
alone.
Kama.
Kama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I met Kama yesterday. He's here.
Oh, he's here.
He's here.
By the way, I did not fight with him there. I thought I was going to.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Have a
Jai
great
Baba.
Jai
have a
Baba,
great
thank you so
weekend,
much.
everybody.
See you
Jai
guys
Baba.
next tomorrow.
Yeah,
Baba.
thank you.
Baba's
Baba.
will. Jai Baba.